The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We are live on our way back from MetLife Stadium, where the New York Jets seemingly won one of the more improbable games they've ever played in. The Jets beat the Bills in overtime, but they likely lose Aaron Rodgers for the season. It's bittersweet. I'm going to start with the actual win, and then we'll talk about the reality of Rodgers being done for the year. No intro, no open. I think the only thing positive I could play to kind of give us something, Jet fans, is Bob Wischusen's epic final call of the Xavier Gipson walk-off touchdown. Take a listen.
Xavier Gipson drops back to receive the punt.
Buffalo now 5 of 13 on third down.
Low snap. And getting away, a line drive kick is Sam Martin. Gibson runs under it at the Jet 35. Starts to his left, gets to the 40, turns the corner at the 45-50. Blockers in front at the 40, at the Bills 30, inside the 20. Stutter steps to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! It's a Jet touchdown! This game is over!
I mean, about as good as it gets there from the great Bob Wischusen on 98.7 ESPN New York, the Jets flagship station. That's the highlight of the night. That's the moment that, as someone being there in the stands, you felt that jubilation, euphoria. Shout out to our guy Neil from Garden City here as we're making our trip back. I think I hugged Neil for like 20 seconds, jumping up and down in our section tonight. It was a great win. Any way you slice it, no matter what ends up occurring after this game with Rodgers, in the moment, you got to enjoy that, Jet fans. So let's not poo-poo that. All right. I thought the Jets tonight showed you a ton. Obviously, the biggest story is Rodgers, and I have a lot to say on that because it's devastating. There's no other way to put it. The Jets were a Super Bowl contender with Aaron Rodgers, and right now they're not. Can they still have a fun season? Can they end the longest playoff drought in sports? Yeah, they can. Is there value in that? Of course. Is there value in finding out, do you have the right coaching staff? Of course. But we'll get into that in a moment. I mean, for the Jets to win tonight, you got to give a lot of credit to the other 52 guys on this roster. How often have we seen the Jets in their history lay down like dogs at the first sign of adversity? And they didn't. And they easily could have. They held Josh Allen in this loaded, overrated, by the way, Bills offense to 16 total points. That's it. Last time they played Buffalo, 20. Time before that, 17. This team is so loaded, specifically on defense, and they balled out. Shout out to Jordan Whitehead. Incredible performance by him. I thought DJ Reed late in the game with a huge pass breakup on Diggs was great. I mean, just watching it in person and seeing the waves of guys they were bringing in, it was unbelievable to watch in person. So before we get to Rodgers and all that, let's talk about this defense, man. They deserve respect. Saleh is a phenomenal defensive coach. And they so easily could have folded. 4 plays in, you lose the face of the franchise. You lose one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, this team, they showed you something tonight. All right? They're well coached. You could say that about the Jets. They have excellent special teams. We saw that again tonight. Gibson, what a find by Joe Douglas. Great job by this coaching staff developing him. Great job by the veterans on this team, holding the young guys in check, keeping this team in the game. I mean, they came out and they easily, once they got news at halftime that Rodgers was likely done, they easily could have just folded, and they never did. And let's give some love to these guys on offense. How freaking good is Breece Hall? That guy is an absolute alien. There's no other way to say it. What he did tonight, coming off a torn ACL, is incredible. He was the best player on the field. Breece Hall was the MVP of the game tonight for the Jets on offense. And then that catch by Garrett Wilson. I mean, he is a legitimate superstar. Unbelievable. And I know we're going to talk plenty about the O-line. That play by Dwayne Brown was bad. Look, there's no excuse for it. It's a football play, though. It happens. It sucks. Rodgers got hurt. But I thought overall, the Jets' offensive line was not a huge issue post-Rodgers injury. Obviously, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? But What are you going to do? I mean, it's football. Josh Allen got hit a lot tonight. He didn't get hurt. But there was so much in this game that you're thrilled about as a fan, and it's so bittersweet because you don't get to truly enjoy it. Because you know 8's done for the year in all likelihood. So it's just, you're just sick to your stomach. I mean, I couldn't formulate sentences losing Rodgers, but I'd be remiss if I didn't start with the game. Because the Jets won tonight, man. They stuck it to the overrated Buffalo Bills again. All right? We saw the Chiefs lose. We saw the Bengals lose. It is so frustrating. That's not even the word to describe it because it's just agonizing, really, that the Jets literally have a Super Bowl roster. This is the most talented Jets team I think I've seen in my lifetime. Rex was right when he said they're better than the 2010 team. They are from our talent standpoint, but now with Rodgers down, it's bittersweet, man. And it's just insane because what were we, so excited about as a Jet fan going into this season? We were excited about the fact they were relatively healthy for Jet standards. They were relatively healthy coming in, and it's just cruel and inhumane to lose Aaron Rodgers 4 snaps in to his Jet career. 4. You cannot make that bull crap up, man. 4 snaps in, and he's done. And let me say this. The Jet fans were incredible tonight. To everyone I met at the game, thank you for stopping by L5. Another great tailgate. Great to meet so many of you and that energy beforehand. And then even throughout the game, sure, there was, that silence, the level of just being stunned when Rodgers goes down. But this crowd was so goddamn good tonight. It was the best Jets crowd I've ever experienced in person. And I've been to a lot of games in my lifetime. I mean, it was unbelievable. The energy in the parking lot into the stadium. When Rodgers came out of the tunnel, you couldn't hear it. It was surreal. The flag, it's just unreal. The Brees coming out with the Brees chants. Garrett Wilson got a huge ovation. It was just, everything was, wow, it's actually happening. But then to lose Rodgers 4 plays in, oh my God, man. It's bittersweet. Like it's last year all over again. When Zach Wilson came in, I can't sit here and say I felt confident in him. I didn't. I mean, they won tonight in spite of him. He made a couple nice plays, but man, it's just, we're back to last year, and that's what pains you. Because this team is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They are just as good as the Chiefs. They are just as good as the Cincinnati Bengals. They are just as good as the overrated Buffalo Bills. They are just as good as the Miami Dolphins. Name the team. But now you don't have Aaron Rodgers, and the question has to be asked, how do you win without the guy? You were able to tonight because you got 4 turnovers for us defensively. You were able to win tonight because you got a touchdown on special teams because Brees Hall is an alien. Garrett Wilson's a superstar. Is that sustainable, though? It's not sustainable if Zach Wilson plays like he did tonight. He's going to have to be better, right? And I don't know if he is going to be better. I can't sit here and try and spin it positive. I'll try, right? I'll try and tell you, hey, there's better coaching around Zach Wilson now. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett and Todd Downing are better coaches than Mike LaFleur and Rob Calabrese, who were both in over their heads. There's better talent around Zach Wilson now. Brees Hall's healthy. Dalvin Cook's here. Becton and AVT are healthy. Zach Wilson was 5-2 last year. So this team could still compete. We saw that tonight. But you're not a Super Bowl contender. We got to be real, Jet fans. The chances of winning the Super Bowl, they ended when Rodgers went down. He played 4 snaps, and then his Achilles snapped. A typical Jet luck. And it is eerie, as our guy Neil in Garden City over there, here in the Sprinter back to Long Island, made the point. What do you think Vinny Testaverde's thinking as he's out there as the honorary captain? I mean, this was Vinny in 99 all over again. Eerie that it happened with Vinny in the building. Surreal. It's hard to imagine this happening, and then you remember it's the Jets. But it's just, even still, even with same old Jets, 4 plays in, man. Favre was 8-3. They beat the Patriots and then the 10-0 Titans on the road back-to-back weeks before shit hit the fan. We got 4 snaps from Aaron Rodgers, man. 4. And I look at it like this. I know Robert Saleh is going to say publicly Zach's their guy. They're going to back him. If I'm Joe Douglas, I'm doing everything I can to try and find a quarterback upgrade. And you guys might think I'm crazy with some of these names, but I'm exploring every option. I'm calling Tom Brady. I don't give a flying F if you hate the guy. He's better than what they have right now. All right, Phillip Rivers nearly came out of retirement last year and was going to play for the Niners if they got to the Super Bowl. I'm calling him. Like, I'm thinking bold. I'm going to call the Rams, even though they won in week 1, and say, hey, you guys, can you trade Matt Stafford now? We have our first-round pick back. If you want a quote-unquote positive. Matt Stafford is now, I don't know, an option? Probably not. But you got to at least make these calls, man, because this team is loaded. They are a Super Bowl caliber roster. They are. They have a team that could win it all if they got the quarterback right. And that's what kills you. Because you saw it tonight, man. They have blue chip players all over this roster. All over it. They are well coached at all 3 levels. They're well coached on special teams. Brant Boyer earned his money tonight. I mean, Salah had these guys ready to go, and the crowd was incredible. I can't say enough good things about that. I mean, Gardner Minshew is out there. I'm just throwing out names, man. You have to bring in someone besides just Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle's not the answer. Zach Wilson, look, you want a positive spin, Wilson Truthers? And God, I am not doing another year of arguing Zach Wilson with morons. All right, the shadow realm is going to be filled up very quickly because I don't have the patience for it. But if you want me to be a little positive on Zach Wilson tonight, because I'm already just dreading the next 16 games where I got to talk about Zach Wilson again. Kill me. You want a little positivity? How about the fact he does have better coaching, he has better weapons than he had last year, and he just needs to be average as the former second pick. That's it. They could win if he's average. They could be a playoff team if he's average. But, man, it's surreal as we hit a big speed bump here. It is surreal, man. I'm going through it, man. I really am. I'm trying to be positive with the win because it was a great win, man. And in that moment, you best believe I enjoyed sticking it to the overrated Buffalo Bills. And Josh Allen, Mr. Turnover Machine. Let's anoint Josh Allen as, he's the next best thing. He's Patrick Mahomes. Bullshit. And just to beat them is a big win for the Jets and a big win for Sal, a big win for this organization. But losing Rodgers is it's bittersweet. There's no other way to describe it, man. There are so many positives despite the fact the biggest storyline is the Hall of Fame quarterbacks don't after 4 games. Only the Jets. Only the Jets. And this fan base, man, we deserve so much better. This fan base is incredible. Incredible. There's no other way to put it. I have 1,400 of you watching me live right now. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. This game ended, an hour and a half ago? I don't even know. And my voice is shot from yelling and screaming. It's just, I'll tell you what. One of our great listeners gave me one of these. I'll be slugging this pretty soon. I mean, God. It's just, what else is there to say other than only the Jets, man. They have the team that can win it all, but then lose the guy that can get it done 4 snaps in. And it's a great win. I'm not trying to take away from the win, but you can't talk about this game without Rodgers. You can't. He's the reason why they can win it all, because the team is good enough. They're right. I have seen enough. We watched last year. The national media, the other fans, they didn't watch the Jets. They weren't in primetime. They played one primetime game, and they lost 19-3 to the Jaguars because Zach Wilson pooped himself on national television. That was it. That's the only time the national media watched the Jets. We watched last year. They won 7 games with no quarterback. They were 6-3. They were 7-4. And it all went to shit because of the quarterback play and all the injuries. No Brees, AVT, George Fant. We all know what happened last year. And it feels like, in part, we're back to that. But we can't go down just Zach Wilson and no other options. You have to try and do something else. Throw out a name. It's not going to be too crazy. Seriously. You have to try and bring someone in to compete. Because I'd love to be optimistic about Zach, but what I saw tonight was the same exact guy I saw last year. And I know he looked a little better in the preseason, but it's vanilla defense and backups. I can't sit here and try and spin Zach Wilson is the guy now for the Jets. I can't. Hell, I'll give you another name. I just thought about I'll call up Jameis Winston. He's an upgrade over Zach Wilson. Whether you Jet fans, you Wilson truthers want to admit it or not, he is. They have to do something. Minshew, Winston, maybe the dream of Stafford if the Rams fall out of it, if they could stay afloat by the deadline. We know the Jets were interested. They had their first-round pick back. How's that for karma, Packers fans? You happy now? Brutal. But I am confident that this team is going to play their asses off every week because they did it last year in the same exact spot. But this year's team is better. They're better coached. There's more blue chip talent on it. Sauce, Quinnen, Brees, you name the studs on this team. They're another year older, another year in the system. But it's brutal, man. It's tough. There's no other way to describe it. It is tough to see this unfold the way it did on a emotional night, September 11th. Jets find a way to win one of the more improbable games they've ever had. Shout out to Xavier Gibson again. I want to make sure we credit the guys who did play their balls off tonight because they did. But it's tough right now, man. No other way to put it. We'll get to your calls. Do me a favor, Jet fans. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Helps this show continue to grow. If you want bonus content away from YouTube, my Patreon is popping off. Since I'm depressed, I'm going to leave the discount 15% rate through the end of the week. We're going to push it back because I want to try and do something nice for my loyal fans. So if you sign up for the year, that 15% discount is good for at least another week. I appreciate everyone who signed up over the last couple of days to help support me as I make YouTube my full-time venture here for the foreseeable future. But man, it's just hard to believe. Before we open it up to your comments and questions, I want to give some love to my guy, Neil. Neil, I need you to wave. You're the man. You made this night happen. Shout out to everyone here. What a special night. We were on the field beforehand. Unbelievable time. Neil getting recognized by basically every listener who came up to me. Wanted to take more pictures with Neil with me tonight, which was incredible to see. Just a great night, obviously. And then the game started. And, in that moment, it was still a great night. Great win for the Jets. But we got to be real about where things are at with this football team because it's just surreal. It is surreal. Nando, Super Chat, starts us off tonight. Jake, this is a win, but man, did it hurt. 9-11 wasn't supposed to end this way. Jets Nation, please stick together. We will overcome this. If there's one thing I could promise you, this fan base is not going anywhere. All right, see, unlike other fan bases in the NFL, there's no such thing as a bandwagon Jet fan. In fact, if you're of a certain age like I am, you've been through this. Vinny Testaverde's in the building tonight. The same crap happened after the Jets were coming off a championship game appearance in 98 and were one of the Vegas favorites to win the Super Bowl in 99 with Parcells. Now, Vinny at least made it to the second quarter. Aaron Rodgers made 4 snaps. It's just brutal. 4 snaps and then his Achilles snapped. Kill me, man. Just now the anger is starting to come out because I don't know. I've gone through the 5 stages of grief or whatever it's called like 7 times already. Alien writes in, I'm not reacting till the official diagnosis comes in. Best case scenario, high ankle sprain, and Aaron misses 6 to 8 weeks and will play the 2023 season. Look, I obviously I hope you're right. I think he's done. All right. Covering the NFL for a long time already, understanding how this works. When they tell you publicly they fear the worst, there's a reason for that. Telcon Fit. Sauce wasn't good. Thoughts on a trade for Jameis Winston? Look, Sauce is allowed to give up a reception, guys. His standard is so insane that if he gives up a completion, it's, oh, my God, what are you going to do? He's allowed. They won the game. They held the Buffalo Bills offense. Last time I checked, how many points tonight? 16. All right? The Bills are a good team. They're overrated, but they're a good team. This defense balled when they had to, man. I know that the Bills got down the field at the end and they tied the game up. They all had 16 total points. And you know what frustrates me? We're going to have these arguments again. The Jets are going to lose a game. Probably next week the Cowboys will lose 20-17, and we're going to have people complaining about the defense. I'm going to say they held the goddamn Cowboys to 20 points. The NFL average in scoring last year was 22. It's like I cannot do last year all over again. It's why I need Joe Douglas to get someone to at least come into that quarterback room if they can't fix Zach Wilson. And nothing I saw tonight tells me they're going to be able to fix Zach Wilson. Sorry. I know they won, but it's not. Zach Wilson doesn't get credit for Garrett Wilson making one of the most unbelievable catches you've ever seen in an NFL game. That's the reality where the Jets are at. Unbelievable win, but now Zach Wilson cannot be this team's quarterback without anyone else being brought in. Don't give me Schebler or Tim Boyle. You're banned for life. I'm not doing it. You suggested, you're done. We're not doing it. Mothman, Super Chat, absolutely heartbroken. I'm devastated. Join the club. It's brutal, man. Arizona Jet, do we trade for a quarterback? Brissett, insert name. Jacoby Brissett would be better than any quarterback on this team right now. They were a playoff team a year ago with Jacoby Brissett. Michael writes in with a Super Chat. Jake, I lashed out on Twitter at you tonight for no reason. I'm sorry for my behavior. I just wanted my hero to get another ring. Michael, I got to be honest, bro. I got like 20,000 Twitter followers almost. I didn't see it. I had no Wi-Fi at this game tonight. So, all good, brother. Barbarella writes in, Jake, don't go back to being a Zach truther. Barbarella, here's what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to send your ass so quickly to the shadow realm. Goodbye.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Give yourselves a pat on the back. You all got on your knees and prayed on Mims's downfall. Clap it up, weirdos.
Don't have time for this. Sorry. The leash is this thin tonight. Heartbreaking. H-Town Jets bar was crazy. Missed you up there. Go Jets. That defense is elite. I'm glad you guys had a good time down at H-Town. I'm looking forward to checking it out, obviously, in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Dallas next week to watch Zach Wilson now play quarterback. Oh, my God. And look, I'm trying to once again be positive. That was one of the greatest wins I've ever seen the Jets have, but it's just like now that it's actually hit that Aaron Rodgers is done after 4 goddamn snaps. It's surreal. Canny Live says, ceiling is the 09 team. Zach equals Sanchez. So I'm going to stop you right there. Mark Sanchez is getting incredibly disrespected if you're comparing Zach Wilson to Mark Sanchez. All right, you know what Mark Sanchez could do? Win games. You know what Mark Sanchez did? Played a lot better than Zach Wilson ever has. It is disrespectful to say Zach could be Sanchez. He can't. Do I want him to get there? Yes. And I'm hoping that with a full week of Zach Wilson, you want positive, Zach Wilson truthers here, a full week to prepare for an opponent, knowing he's the guy. Another week where they can unleash Dalvin Cook with Breece Hall in conjunction. Maybe they can compete because this defense gives them a chance in every game. Cowboys going to be a little overconfident. That's how we do it. I can't say they're dark horse contenders, though. You know how you be a contender in the NFL? You have elite quarterback play. I'm sure people are going to say, it will tell you Brock Purdy's elite or playing at an elite level. Mr. Downtown says, I don't know how I could go to Jets versus Dallas on Sunday. I got you, man. I'll be packing this in my carry-on. We'll drink together, man. God. All right, we'll get to some of your calls. We'll get back to the Super Chats as well. Let's get it going tonight. Appreciate everyone waiting on hold. Apologize for the tech issues earlier with the lack of Wi-Fi. We'll go to Ken from San Diego to start us off. What's up, Ken?
How you doing, Jake? Nice to hear from you.
Thanks for calling, Ken.
Join Patreon. You're doing such a great job providing us with content. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate that.
A couple of things. Listen, if we can get Stafford or any of these quarterbacks in the middle of the first game of the season, I mean, that would be great. It will take a couple of weeks. I do agree with you on one thing. If with the coaching we have now, we can go ahead and create a real plan to minimize Zach's mistakes and make him a game manager, we can make the playoffs. And then anything can happen. But we're not going to turn him into an Aaron Rodgers, that's for sure. But I think the coaching this year on the offensive side, I mean, let's be honest. This game plan was not for Zach Wilson. This game plan was completely for Rodgers. So
let's be real. I'm going to root for him. Do we really think, they have a game plan for Zach Wilson? All of a sudden he's going to look that much better. Like, I'd love to be wrong, but I have a tough time envisioning that.
He's not going to look that much better, but at least we can eliminate the mistakes and win a 20-17 game.
I mean, that interception he threw was one of the worst plays you'll ever see.
Horrible.
It had nothing to do with the game plan. That's just Zach Wilson still being Zach Wilson.
Yeah, you're right. He eyed the person down, didn't look off anybody. What are you going to do? We just have to coach him up.
Yeah, no, good call, Ken. Appreciate you, man. It's tough. It's tough. Obviously, I will root like hell for Zach Wilson, as I always do when he plays, because he's a Jet, and I root for every Jet. But it's just, man. And, like, you could tell, man, the crowd tried to be patient with him, but the first brutal pass, it was like, here we go again. But part of the crowd was still just in a state of shock that, holy crap, Aaron Rodgers is done 4 games in. 4 snaps in, excuse me. I wish we got 4 games. Maybe they could have been 4-0 and at least backed into the playoffs by docking 4 wins. At least they got 1 tonight. Keep rolling here. Let's go to Bones. Mr. Bonesy, who's blaming Gator for Aaron Rodgers' injury. What's up, Bones? You're on mute.
What's up, brother?
Hey, brother. How are you?
Oh, man. Trying to get my mind to see if this is real, man. I am blaming Gator because Gator made us fucking talk about Zach the whole time we were enjoying Rodgers. And now what's going on? We're going to have to be talking about Zach the whole fucking – I don't want to do what we did last year, man. Like, I'm going to disconnect, like, from the world. Like, we can't go through the Zach shit again. Like,
they have to add someone. All right, like
they have
my dream
to.
is Stafford or someone like that. They got their first round pick now to use. But like my big takeaway from tonight is this is a Super Bowl caliber roster that has the black hole at quarterback. And like they cannot waste this season. There's too much goddamn talent on this team on rookie contracts to not go for it and do everything you can to end this playoff drought.
I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm praying that that's how Joe Douglas sees it, because if we go by what they say, it seems like we're rolling. Maybe what we should try to do is, if everybody could just pray tonight, I would take, if they could just tell us Rodgers is 10 weeks away, then we could try to hold on some type of faith to, like, maybe we could just hang on with Zach till he's back. But how could you even enjoy this win, man? We've been talking about this hope this whole time, and it's all been on. We know how good our team is. Look what they just did to fucking Aaron, to Allen.
And everyone saw it tonight. Bonesy, great call, man. Everyone saw it. I got texts from people being like, wow, the Jets are really good. Yeah, we knew this. You know what they needed? A quarterback. His name $5 million less to play here. He's done everything right. It's just, it is criminal for that to happen to this fan base. It is just unbelievable. It is just, I don't know if I'll ever process it, man. Like, I just, and this is worse than Vinny in 99. I know Vinny was great in 98. All respect to him, but we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, man. It's just brutal. They have to bring in somebody else to compete at that spot. Brissett, Winston, Minshew, just get someone that has proven they could be a mediocre quarterback, because this season still matters, man. Making the playoffs still matters. I mean, could Joe Namath give this team some snaps? Like, I'm thinking anyone, man. Let's go. Steven says, with a super chat, we'll get back to your calls in a moment here. Is any straight game manager like Brissett around reminds you of Sanchez? Anyone not awful? Jets are a Super Bowl team. We just okay. Look, whether it's Zach or someone they bring in, the quarterback has to be average and they could win. That's how good this defense is, man. That's how good Breece Hall is. He's an alien. All right. You know what's criminal? We don't get to talk about how good Breece Hall is. But I'm going to, because he's unbelievable. All right. He is special. He is on his way to being maybe the best running back in the sport. This guy's an alien, man. He tore his ACL in October last year. And his first snap today, he's nearly scoring. It's just, wow. Jay Shaw. So who are we going to go sign? Man, we'll keep going. We'll keep getting you the names. Hey, here's another name from Gator. Taylor Heineke. I'll take Taylor Heineke. You know what Taylor Heineke has done? He's won games. Where is Taylor Heineke now? What team is Taylor Heineke on? Taylor Heineke is on the Falcons. Give me Taylor Heineke. I'll take him. BC fan writes in, bittersweet win. Fans showed up. Sad to think of what could have been with A-Rod, but that's the risk we took, Jet up. Let me say this as well. Any Jet fan who thinks that this somehow justifies the Jets making the wrong move going for Aaron Rodgers, you don't know ball. You go for Aaron Rodgers 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Tonight was a fluke injury. He's missed one game since 2017. One. All right? Any quarterback could get hurt, but Jake, he's old. Okay. Plenty of guys have played that position old, and they've been healthy. It happens. It's a freak play. It's typical Jet luck. It is what it is, but somehow this doesn't mean, the Jets risk. How dare they? Their better option is Derek Carr. Where are they going with that guy? Jimmy G? At least with Rodgers, you had a legitimate path to winning a championship. They went for it. It was the right move. I'm never going to criticize the Jets because Rodgers got hurt. Zalak says, love you, brother. Appreciate your support. We're in this together, Jet fans. I'll still be live every day. Probably twice a week, every day throughout this season, because that's what we do. Bittersweet win. Fans showed up. Sad. I already read that one. Reading's fundamental, Jake. Axios writes in, I personally blame Keith Carter, then Hackett, then Salah, and most of all, Dwayne Brown tanked. This is crazy. I mean, it's football, man. It's football. I know we want to always blame someone, but Aaron Rodgers got hurt on a football play. It's a freak accident. You think Dwayne Brown's happy he got beat and that happened? He was, I didn't see it. I was reading the quotes trying to get the stream uploading here. He was like in tears after the game. He was emotional. He felt terrible. I mean, he came back to play with Aaron Rodgers. Man's 38. He's never won a championship. He's going for it. Daniel, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you. Devin says, really bought my Cowboys tickets yesterday. Hey, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. And if Zach Wilson playing quarterback, you best believe, just like tonight, I'll be rooting for his ass. Don't feel confident in him, but I'll still be rooting for him. Back to your calls. Dan, the Jet fan, you're up next on the Gusbuster Hotline. What's up, Dan?
How's it going, Jake? What can I say? I mean, I don't think you can call yourself a Jet fan if you didn't expect something like this to actually occur. I'm pretty sure all off-season long, at least some Jet fan out there, including myself, had actually said, somehow, some way, if Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Jets, he'll get hurt in the first game. Obviously, here it is, and this is the situation that we're stuck with, unfortunately. However, really, this team just demonstrated resiliency all game long. It was just ridiculous to see.
They did.
I'll tell you what, I cried tears of joy at the end of the game. I never thought it was even possible. I can't believe it. I'll tell you what, on that third down play, right before the punt return for the touchdown, I asked my grandpa and said, I just want this game. I told him I want this game. One play later, a punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, Dan. I mean, it's a great win that they had. Like, losing Rodgers is obviously the story. What should not be lost is that the Jets on national TV sent a statement to the league. They're a good team, all right? And they're well coached. It's a great win for Robert Saleh. National TV, to beat that team and show everyone how overrated the Buffalo Bills are, that's a big win for the Jets. And I keep hearing about how great the AFC is. And yeah, the conference is very good. You know what? If the Jets had Rodgers, they're just as good as any of those teams. And I knew that, and any true Jet fan knew that because we watched last year. We saw what the problem was. And here we are again. We know what the problem is. That's why I'm not accepting Zach Wilson and no other move. I'm not. And I don't think Joe Douglas is just going to do nothing. They'll do something. There's no way. There's no way they're just going to sit on their hands and say, we're just going to run it back with Zach now. We're fine. No way. Jay writes in with a super chat. Appreciate you, Jay. Brissett, Zappy. No on Zappy. Minshew, I'd consider. Winston, I'd consider. Cooper Rush, I'd consider. A.J. McCarron, he's not in football right now. No, thank you. Dalton Schott, no, thank you. Brady, he's not going to do it, but I'd make a phone call. You never know. DiNucci, Schott, no, thank you, which is not very good. Heineke, yes. Mariota, I'd listen to. Stidham, no. Cam, no, he's shot. Duggan, no, thank you. He's a rookie. Foles, he's shot. So half your list, I think, worthy of a conversation. Shout out to Mike for the super chat. Appreciate that. I believe Mike is located here in this vehicle. Wave hi, Mike. There you go. Andrew Luck. Neil wants Andrew Luck. Let's get Matt Ryan's wash. No, thank you. And Heineke seems to be the favorite in the sprinter right now. NYJ Maddie says Whitehead had Allen's number. Garrett Wilson saved that bad throw. I mean, once again, we're not giving Zach Wilson credit for tonight's win. I'm glad they won. I'm thrilled. You don't get credit when Garrett Wilson makes one of the greatest plays you'll ever see. That was a bad throw by Zach. And Garrett Wilson, being the star he is, bailed him out. So I'm going to be realistic. I'm as happy as anyone they won. I can't stand the Buffalo Bills and their fans. I'll never forget how poorly they treated me when I went to a Jets-Bills game in 2016. I will always root against the Buffalo Bills from that point on. Always. So I love beating them. It is a great win for the Jets, but it is bittersweet for obvious reasons. Nick writes in, I'm a Bills fan. All I can say is the Jets are a kryptonite, man. Sorry for the Rodgers loss. Problem is he's not Brady, who lays down at the plays dead. So I felt like him at 39. This was a possibility. Any quarterback could get hurt, man. Brady lost a season in his prime, 2008. It's a freak play, man. Rodgers is a guy that has not dealt with a lot of injuries in his career. He's missed one game since 2017. Bills are a very good team. The Jets match up well with them, and now, they don't have the quarterback to truly be in the conversation with the Bills, who still are a Super Bowl contender, because Josh Allen is still a great player despite his poor performance tonight. The Dominican Destroyer with a super chat. Tonight's show, we have the best running back duo in the league. Yeah, we'll see more from Dalvin Cook, I'm sure, but I'll tell you, Breece Hall is Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Back to your calls. Try and rapid fire through some here. Let's go to Big Apple UB. You're up next. What's up, Big Apple?
Hey, Jake. What's up, man? First time calling in. I'm calling in from Mongolia.
Wow. What time is it there?
It's 1:12 in the afternoon, Tuesday.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you
I
listening,
kept
man.
my son. Yeah, man. I kept my son home from school to watch Rodgers debut, and he goes out on the fourth snap. Nuts. I mean, I'm born and raised in the Bronx. That's why I'm a Jets fan. But a couple of positive things. I think even with Zach, because of this defense, if they can do ground and pound, they can sneak into the playoffs. It would be nice to see if there's anybody else out there, but I don't know what the options are, first of all. And then I think a lot of teams we're going to catch a lot of teams sleeping. They're going to underrate us. They're not going to worry about the Jets, and we can catch them off guard. But anyway, thanks for what you do. You're the best Jets YouTuber there is. And, let's hope for the best. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it. That's awesome that you're in Mongolia, man. Jeff, once again, this fan base deserves more. Unbelievable. Look, can they be a ground and pound team? Yes, but in today's NFL, you need a quarterback, man. You're going to need more from Zach Wilson tonight. You just are. I know they won tonight, and it's a great win. Forcing 4 turnovers like the defense did tonight, as good as they are, and they are great. Anyone laughing now at DJ Reed's comments? Is he allowed to be confident in his team's ability? Defense. In fact, they're a great defense, and I watched it last year, but other people didn't. And everyone saw it tonight. And that's what's just cruel about this injury to Rodgers, because this is a Super Bowl roster that now can't win because they don't have the quarterback. But can they still be a playoff team? Yeah. They absolutely can. And that should be the goal, man. Don't tell me making the playoffs is not beneficial for a team that hasn't done it since 2010. Daryl writes in, Jake, they will rally around this team as heart. They do have heart, man, but you need a quarterback to win. You do. You can't win in the NFL without a quarterback. Back to your calls we go. Let's go to James, who's up next on the show. What's up, James?
What's going on, dude? Man, this is a tough one. I've never seen a big win and had it feel like such a big loss after that one. But it kind of reminds me, it's way worse, but remember when Zach went down with that non-contact injury and Saleh thought the worst of what was going to happen. It turned out it wasn't that bad. Maybe, just maybe, we get a little lucky. I doubt it. It did not look good. But, sometimes Saleh jumps the gun, and maybe we'll have Rodgers back in a couple weeks with a severe calf strain. But what do you think about kicking the tires on, if Aaron is out, kicking the tires on Sammy D? He looked pretty good in San Fran, and he never really had a fair shot. And it's pretty similar offense over here with Paul Hackett and the Shanahan offense. I think Sammy D wouldn't be a bad option. I like Brissett a little bit better, but with the options available, I think Sammy D could be a good option to look at.
James, appreciate the call. I need someone that doesn't have a history of turnovers, right? The Jets win. You know how they could win if they have a game manager at quarterback. Can't give away free possessions. They got lucky the defense bailed out Zach Wilson after that brutal interception. It's not sustainable. You cannot force 4 turnovers every game. You can't. Not in today's NFL. So, Sam Darnold, I wish him the best. I like Sam personally. I think they got it. If they're going to bring in someone else, they got to try and do better than Sam Darnold. M. Lopez, Super Chat. This type of bleep doesn't happen to Russell Wilson, but only us. We won the offseason, but lost it all. I hate going to game 3 now. Hate losing to Broncos now. Look, they could still beat teams, man. It's a lot harder. And if they had Aaron Rodgers tonight, they would have smoked the Buffalo Bills tonight. Oh my God. They would have the Jets would have blown out Buffalo if Rodgers didn't go down. This is a good team. They're going to have to figure it out at quarterback, man. Look, I think they need to add someone, but if they stick with Zach Wilson at quarterback, then they have to bring someone in case he implodes again. That's not Tim Boyle. Exodia says, do you think Brady would come? I don't think he would. I think you call him. Some of you are going to say, no, what's wrong with you? I'm a win, man. I'm trying to win. I don't care. Danny Jet says, great win, but here we go again. Yeah, I feel you, Danny. Season's not done, though, man. Davey writes in, looks like Barnwell was right. Teddy Bridgewater was a better fit than Rodgers. Yep. Great comment. I think you're so spot on. We're going to reward you with such a great comment by sending your ass to the realm.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Bridgewater is 9 years younger than Rodgers, has been beloved everywhere he has gone as a pro, and is still available as an unrestricted free agent.
Shout out to our guy Method Man, who's back from the game tonight watching, wants me to save him some Henny. I got you, Meth. Good job tonight, man. Crowd was fired up. Adam writes in, God help the 2023 Jets. God laughs at us, man. Football gods do anyway. Jeez. Roddy says, I want to cry right now. Same. Arizona Jet. JD never got a legit backup his whole time here. Joe Flacco does not count. Mike White was a legit backup. They let him go. I wanted to keep him. I said all summer I wanted a competent backup. The reality is they're not winning a Super Bowl now. That's over. Barring a drastic trade, and the only guy I think is somewhat realistic, and I say somewhat because I don't know, is Stafford, because the Rams tried to trade him when the Jets inquired. But the Rams are 1-0 right now. What if they're a sneaky good team this year? NFC sucks. They have a great coach. T writes in, it's the Joe Namath guarantee curse. The curse doesn't pass until Namath does. Maybe. On a night like this, there's some validity to that, I guess. Joel says, Salah said they're sticking with Zach the whole season. He's got to say that. He's got to back his guy. He can't come out and tell people behind closed doors, oh, no, look into it. If you think Joe Douglas is not making calls to other teams around the league, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Kamal with a super chat. We can't have nice things. Stafford for the first. I would do that today if it's a deal. Oh, but Jake, it's a lot to give up for Stafford. Who cares? You're already banking on the fact you weren't going to have your first round pick anyway. I'm not throwing away this year. This team could win a Super Bowl with the right quarterback. Stafford won one 2 years ago. He's a huge injury risk too, but you know what? I'm going down swinging. I'm trying. Jax writes in, the only glimmer of hope I have for Zach is he learned something from Rodgers over this time. Shows to be a little better this year, but agree we need to get someone else. You got to try someone, man. I'm with you, Jax. Appreciate you. Jacob, super chat, Cooper Rush, call the Cowboys. I don't know why they trade him, but maybe he'd be available because they have Trey Lance. Dane writes in, rest in peace, Mike Evans to the Jets. Pray for Rush/Winston. Yeah, I would. They're upgrades. Back to the calls. Alex from DC, you're up next on the show this evening. What's up, Alex?
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know if I'm typically like a level-headed person, not too high, not too low. I don't know if it's
It's like a
ghosts.
roller coaster right here, Alex. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ghosts. I don't know if it's an omen in the atmosphere. I don't know if it's the devil himself. But this does not make sense the way he can go down. Like this defies all odds. It's bad luck that I've never seen before as Jet fans. Another thing, I'll be in Dallas too, so hopefully I'll see you. Thirdly, as far as all these names that are mentioned, Minshew, whoever the hell, these guys don't move the needle. That's making a move just for the sake of saying, hey, we made a move, right? Number one. Number two, a lot of these guys, they're backups on their teams. Why would their team just randomly trade their backup in the middle of the season? The other caller mentioned Sam Darnold. Well, Sam Darnold's their number two right now. They just traded Lance. So why would, after what they just went through last year, going through 3 or 4 quarterbacks, why would they just trade their backup?
Excellent point. It's why you have to target teams that are probably not legitimate playoff threats, right? You got to look at teams that are going to fall out of it, and or maybe doesn't have a developmental quarterback already, or does have a developmental quarterback on their roster, and you could make a swing for it. Like Jacoby Brissett, he doesn't want to be a backup. He was given a chance to compete. Sam Howell beat him out. You might be able to get him. He's in Washington. Like that's a guy you might be able to get.
Okay. A name that I'm just sitting in my bed. A name that came to me was maybe we look at Tennessee and one of the 3 guys they have, because they have the kid they just drafted. They got Malik Willis and they got Tannehill. I don't know. The name that makes the most sense that you mentioned is a Stafford. And yes, you do trade your first, but it's just so much right now. I don't know if anything moves the needle. And to bring in a guy that doesn't move the needle for me is just it's just a pointless move. It's like, okay, we got Gardner Minshew. Does our ceiling go any higher? No. It's like whatever.
I don't know if Alex, I appreciate the call. I don't know a playoff team right now with Zach Wilson. Zach fell apart. You promise me that Zach Wilson doesn't fall apart, that he's able to be healthy, and the Jets around him are able to be healthy, more importantly, and he could take a step forward. Maybe he can be competent. But those guys are all better than Zach Wilson, which increases your chances of going to the playoffs. Salah's trying to prove he's the right guy, and I think he is the right guy. But I don't want to have to defend the guy, and people are going to say, well, look at his record. I want them just to get to the playoffs so I can say, well, this is what he did with no Aaron Rodgers. With no quarterback, this is what he did. And they're on the right path already, but there's more they got to do. Brian Levy is a channel member. We'll take his comment here. Honestly, think Kyler could be a viable option. Cards are tanking for Caleb Williams, probably 3 weeks away from returning. I would make a call. I don't know if he's 3 weeks away from returning, though, Brian. He tore his ACL up pretty late in the year last year. I would make a call. Now, that contract is going to be brutal. Crazy. Jets 830 says, I hate your broadcast tonight, Jake. Wait till you get to the house or hotel room. Well, 1,500 people are watching right now, Jets 830. So it can't be that bad. So enjoy the Shadow Realm. I don't have time for this bullshit.
Into the Shadow Realm you go.
And the Jets are kind of dysfunctional and not a perfect roster.
We're really going to complain about the quality of the Wi-Fi on this. I'm hotspotting from my phone. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm trying to do a post-game show because you guys are an incredible audience. We're going to complain about that, really? I don't have patience for that. Sorry. Not doing that. Not when Aaron Rodgers played 4 snaps tonight. No way. Not dealing with that. Beth Page Chris says, great to meet you tonight, Jake. Fun night. Now I'll have to wonder what I ever did to be tormented by the football gods. This is just wrong. Hey, Chris, great to meet you and your dad tonight, man. Bittersweet, dude. Bittersweet. Bumpo writes in, second Rodgers went down, I laughed. Only us, man. I didn't say a word for about. I just sat there with my hands like this. Just couldn't believe it. It's just, I still can't believe it. Anthony says, Jake, great meeting you at L5. My son Anthony was excited to meet you. Tough win, but a win is a win. Great to meet you, Anthony. Look, it's a great win tonight. Once again, I opened the show saying that it should not be lost how big this win is for the Jets. It's national TV. Whole country got to see this team is damn good. But you lose Rodgers. I mean, I don't want the country to respect us. All right? They were always going to respect us when they saw this team with Rodgers. It's just, I want to win. I want to win a Super Bowl. This team could do it. Now they can't, and that's what sucks. Jets forever. Time to send you to the round for life. I've had it. Fake Jet fans want another quarterback over Zach. Yes, Jets forever. We want to do this thing called win football games, and we have very little faith in a guy who statistically through 2 years has the same exact numbers as Jamarcus Russell. We will see you later.
Into the Shadow Realm you go.
And last in the AFC East, the New York Jets, most overrated 7-win team I've ever seen in NFL history, along with a soon-to-be 40-year-old quarterback. But he was nice to his teammates, I guess.
Evan writes in, Joe Douglas messed up. You need to be ready for a 39-year-old quarterback to go down, just like he messed up giving Zach the job. What a disaster. Look, I wanted a better backup than Tim Boyle. If they were going to keep Zach around, I had no issue with that, but I wanted someone better than Tim Boyle. Now I think they have to add someone. Have to. Maybe they won't, but if they go down with Zach Wilson, that's on them. That's on them. They want to hitch their wagons to Zach Wilson after what we've seen through 2 years. That's on them. Knifey says, you know better than most. Thoughts on Mills? No, thank you. Davis Mills, not the answer. He's long neck Zach Wilson. Sorry. Dylan Gray says, it was the chop block. They allowed the edge to run right after Rodgers. Why didn't they just stand up? Brown and Becton, those chop blocks go to A-Rod. Bills were prepared for the short passes, so chop didn't work. I got to rewatch the play, Dylan. All right. I mean, it's a football. RJ writes in. See if I get this to load here. Wi-Fi. Hotspot. Acting up a little bit. I don't think I can. I'll take a call while we wait here. See if I can do that. Evan, you're up next on the show. Oh, actually, hold on. We got RJ. RJ, it was great meeting you. But I'm not going to lie. The Rodgers-less Jets are going to make the season Jets. Yeah, I can't argue with you guys, man. I don't feel great where they are right now. I don't feel great with Zach Wilson. There's nothing I saw tonight that makes me feel like Zach Wilson is fixed. Nothing. All right. And Hard Knocks is not here to make that throw he made to Malik Taylor in the Canton game, the greatest throw ever. Right. He looked okay against backups this summer. I'm not going to sit here and feel great about Zach Wilson. I just can't. I'd be lying to you. Let's go back to the calls. Let's go to Evan. Evan, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Really quick point. I think Jacoby Brissett is the guy to bring in. He actually was better than Deshaun Watson last year. I don't think he gets enough credit for being a capable starter. But going back to this game, it was, of course, everyone's still using the phrase bittersweet, but it really was. It was a weird moment where the second Rodgers got hurt, it was like I was transported back in time and I was watching. It felt like December 2022 all over again, where we're watching this losing streak and they can't win and they can't move the ball. And it was totally brutal. But at the same time, everything we were saying all offseason, we were seeing in front of our eyes in terms of the safety stepping up and clearing that big defensive hole we had last year, or whether it was Breece Hall coming back and he's going to be healthy and we knew he was going to look good, and Garrett Wilson taking that step and being that wow superstar receiver. We saw those things in this first game, and every time something good would happen, I would take a step back and be like, but if Rodgers was here, that was always my thought, and I think that's what's unfortunately going to torture us all year, even if we make the playoffs and break the streak, which will be fun. And look, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer. If that happens, I'll be so pumped with you guys, and we're going to do it together. But the whole time I'm going to be thinking, wow, we made it to whatever, a wild card, a 6 seed, whatever it is, divisional game. Maybe we win a game by some miracle. But we did it with Wilson. Man, what if we had Rodgers? That's going to be the thing. It's going to be that big what if, you know, and it'll torture us. But, I'm glad that, I'm glad the rest of the team got built up. But I will say, Joe Douglas is living with that biggest mistake he made in his Jet career, which is the number 2 pick, and now he's made his bed. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I said it all summer. This is not revisionist history. If you watch this show, I wanted someone in there, not named Tim Boyle, to be there with Zach Wilson. I threw out every name throughout this summer. So I just don't think they could just now be like, we're good. We're going to just get Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle as the quarterback room. There's no way. Barney says, Cinderella season loading. Don't realm me. They could still be a playoff team. I'm not dismissing the Jets being a playoff team. This roster is loaded. I'll say what I said earlier for those just tuning in. In my lifetime rooting for this goddamn football team, this is the most talent the Jets have ever had. I agree with Rex. This is more talented than in 09 and 10. They are. But they need to find a way to get average quarterback play, whether that's Wilson or someone they bring in. That's what's needed here. That's what's needed. Guitar says no quarterback is surviving that O-line. Ask Mike White for ribs. It's football, man. Guys get hit. Josh Allen got hit a lot tonight. He made it through the game. Right? The Jets O-line wasn't that bad tonight. Sure, the Dwayne Brown play was horrible. I mean, it sucks Rodgers got hurt on it for the year, but you've seen that football play how many times in your life? Football, it's a contact sport. Injuries happen. This was always a possibility. It is the nightmare scenario it happened. It is same old Jets vibes that happened 4 games in, but this happens. And it sucks. No other way to put it. All gas, no gas, with an interesting question here I wanted to bring on the screen. Is it possible A-Rod's whole career with the Jets was just those 4 snaps? I'm in disbelief. I'll say this. I don't think there's any chance Aaron Rodgers is done after this. There is no way a guy that competitive is calling it quits after that. No chance. So I don't even want to think about next year and having to go through the all song and dance of another offseason and everything else, because this team still has a lot to play for this year. Making the playoffs still means something. But if anyone worried he's done, I don't think so. No way. Gator with a super chat. Gator, we're going to need a new open, man. I guess we can't have an Aaron Rodgers themed open. Kill me. Ugh. What are the cap implications if Rodgers retires? Zach Wilson sucks. So does Bonesy. To be honest, I don't know what they are. I haven't looked it up. I haven't thought of it because he's not retiring. Mr. Swag McMuffin. It's Joe Douglas's job in question for this. Love the team. Fans love him. Not his fault. Freak injury. But I'm sure Woody doesn't take it kindly. One of his employees losing him $100 million in 4 snaps. if you think Woody's going to fire Joe Douglas because Rodgers got hurt on a freak play, I don't know what to tell you. Not happening. See, if Woody watched this game tonight, you know what he saw? A roster that is stacked and well coached by a guy Joe Douglas hired, and a roster that was put together by Joe Douglas. That is not even a thought of mine. Ricardo writes in, you guys are looking at wrong quarterbacks. We need a Cooper Rush type, 3 steps, pass, throw it away. That's Jacoby Brissett, Ricardo. The dream for me is Stafford out of the guys who are higher end guys. I will throw Phillip Rivers out there as an option. If he was good enough for Kyle Shanahan last year, if the Niners had won the championship game, I'll call Phillip Rivers up, see if he's got anything left. I mean, those are the big names, but the more realistic names are a Cooper Rush type of guy. Yeah. I just can't believe we're back to Zach Wilson, man. I can't do this again. I cannot. We're gonna need more of this, folks. I cannot do another year of Zach Wilson at quarterback, and they just do nothing. They have to do something. They have to. I'm going to Dallas to watch Zach Wilson play quarterback. Kill me. I think the only time I'd have to watch Zach Wilson in person this year was at the Hall of Fame game, the Zach Wilson Invitational. Oh, brutal. Let's get back to your calls right now on the show. Let's go to Jeremy, a.k.a. Jets Chaos. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, man. I can't tell you what a strange night it has been.
Crazy.
Having to stream that game with Green Bean after him going down on the 4th play and keep it together and stay positive was probably the hardest 3 hours of my life. But at least they rewarded us with that win.
It's a great win. Look, it takes the win itself is obviously overshadowed. It is a great win, and it's an unbelievable tone setter for the rest of the year if they could somehow find average quarterback play because it shows you they're going to be competitive in every game.
Yeah, I agree. And what do you think about, because we get him for free, I'm not saying he moves the needle a lot, but as if they're really going to go with Zach, but to have somebody behind him without having to give up anything, is Bailey Zapp poachable if he's on the practice squad for New England?
He is, but he stinks. So I don't want him.
Okay. Not a fan of his?
I mean, if he was so good, why'd they cut him?
No, I know. It's just weird because I felt like he played well last year, or as good as Mac Jones did. So,
he played very limited snaps. They need someone better than him.
Yeah, I like the Phillip Rivers idea. I think that if he's still in shape, just because of his experience, I mean, we're not asking him to be Phillip Rivers in his prime. We just need a smart quarterback who's just going to manage the game, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you need a game manager, man. You need a game manager. That's to be a playoff team. Forget the Super Bowl. And that's the crime in all this, because this team is a Super Bowl caliber team that now doesn't have a quarterback. MC Lean says, even when we win, it feels like a loss. Look, in the moment, I can tell you being there, that was one of the more electric environments ever. And I cheered my ass off for the defense, for Brees, Garrett Wilson. I mean, it was nuts in there. The Jet fan brought it. That was I've been to a lot of games. That was the best atmosphere I've ever seen at MetLife. It was when Rodgers came out, the chills that I had, and just, man, it's unreal. But it's still a great win, man. And this team is really good. They just have to find a way to just get competent quarterback play. And how sad is it that the second pick in the draft 2 years ago, we have no faith that he could even do that. Brendan says, do we need to rethink our tackle spots? Becton and Fant. Fant's not on the team. Rodgers got hurt, and our O-line might have cost the season. I think you mean Becton and Brown. Look, it's the first game, man. It's the first game. It's easy to blame the O-line. Rodgers got hurt on a football play. Even if you had the best O-line in the NFL, the Jets had a great O-line in 2009. Remember that, Jet fans? Mark Sanchez had to miss a game because he got hurt. That was the best O-line in the league. It's football. It happens. It sucks. I'm as angry as anyone. All right, I make my livelihood talking about the Jets right now. And Aaron Rodgers going down is bad for business. It's bad for me as a fan, which I care more about than anything. But it's football. It happens. It's a free play. It sucks. Let's go back to your calls now. Let's go to Jimmy in Seattle. What's up, Jimmy?
Yo, what is good, baby? Jets, Jets. For the past hour, it's been depressing on this show because of the obvious. So I'm not even going to bring up the quarterback situation. You see what it says right there. Dude was my quarterback. That's all I got to say about that. But what I will say is shout out to all the boys. And then, of course, my boy want to say, what's up? What's up? Yeah. Jet Life Stadium, you guys are rocking. I was like hella glad that y'all was on TV out there rocking the stadium like y'all was.
It was nuts, man. The
Shout
Jet
out to
fans were
Michael
incredible.
Clemens, bro.
Yeah,
You
they hit
know,
on Allen.
shout out to Michael Clemens, bro. He tackled 2 people and got a forced fumble. Like, come on, man. I'm so excited.
We're losing Jimmy there. I start hearing the beep bop noise. Never a good sign. Jimmy, appreciate you, man. I like the positive vibes, man. It's okay to be positive. This team is really good. I think Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year, but I can't even think about that right now. Super chat here. Albine. I agree we need another QB, but can we just embrace Zach for literally the worst scenario for him returning and having a really gutsy, not good performance? Showed a lot of heart. Look, I mean, it's tough for me to sit here and praise Zach Wilson for tonight. Did he make a couple nice throws? Yes. He's an NFL quarterback, though, man. The bar is so low that if he completes one pass and third down, it's like, woo. I'm going to root for Zach. I fully support him when he's out there, but we got to be realistic, man. He made some glaring mistakes tonight. That interception was god awful. I mean, look, Zach Wilson last year was 5-2 when Breece Hall and AVT were healthy. We're going to need something like that. And actually, he wasn't 5-2 because he didn't play in the first He didn't play in the first 3 games of the year. So, Zach Wilson was able to lead a 5-game winning streak when he first started. And then obviously it all went to shit. MC Lean says, only problem is we play Dallas in 5 days. Zach will start. Yeah, look, if they had a quarterback, I fully expect Zach Wilson to play on Sunday. But you then could get that quarterback ready for New England in 2 weeks. All right? That should be the goal if you're going to add someone. Let's get back to your calls here. Try and squeeze in a couple more as I'm nearing the end of my drive back here to Long Island. I'll then pause the show, get into my car, and continue the postgame show for a little while longer here. So we'll have a little intermission report here. So I'll go fade to black, get set up, leave the stream rolling, and then we'll come back. Arizona Jet, you're up next, my friend. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Jake? Man, watching this game tonight, I think when Aaron Rodgers went down, I thought he was going to come back in. I didn't think it was that serious. Didn't look serious. And then it was serious. So Zach Wilson came in. He threw that interception. I took my Zach Wilson jersey off. I was like, this game's over. We're not going to win this game. I almost turned the game off, but I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to follow through. I'm just going to just see what happens. Shout out to the defense, man. DJ Reed, I mean, he's a serious guy when he says this defense can be historically good. All we need is average quarterback play. And I will say this, it's week 2. The season ain't over. We could get a quarterback. And Joe Douglas, you could bank on it that he's going to go and look for a quarterback.
I agree. He better. He better, because hitching your wagon to just Zach Wilson, I think is not the right move to make. But what do I know? I'm just some dopey Jet fan who thought this year would be different because Aaron Rodgers was here and he wanted to be here and everything was going too well for the Jets. Man, we will always have that Ed Sheeran montage, Jet fans, on Hard Knocks. I'll tell you that much. We will always have that. Unreal, man. Unreal. Oh, keep it rolling here. Let's go to Joe the Jet. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Jake. The definition of tonight, I mean, it was kind of a bittersweet victory. I mean, we won the game, but, tomorrow morning we're going to wake up and we're going to be like, oh, we're going to hear everyone panic about the Aaron Rodgers injury. All honesty, I don't know what we got to do. I mean, the only guy I can think of that we can pick up is like maybe Gardner Minshew, maybe Bailey Zappi from the Patriots or something like that.
No, on him, I would be interested in Minshew.
Oh, yeah, but I maybe I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's tough. It's tough, Joe. I know. Brendan, Super Chat. Jets fans deserve all the love. Thank you, Jake. Thank you to everyone at Jet Life. Even when things seemed down, our fans stayed till the end. This fan base is amazing. The crowd tonight was so good. Even after the Rodgers injury, there was that period of like just disbelief and like you can hear a pin drop at times. But then we got into it, man. This defense was so good. They kept them in all night until the offense could just put together a drive or two. And then shout out to Xavier Gibson, man. So many stars tonight. Whitehead, Brees, Garrett, just DJ Reed, just keep going. Quinnen made some plays. JFM had a big sack. It's just fuck, man. Excuse my language. Just losing Aaron Rodgers sucks. I mean, Josh Allen had a 62 quarterback rating tonight. 3 interceptions, had another fumble. Man, and late in the game, I noticed a defensive adjustment that Sal and Olbrich made. They put Sauce on Dalvin Cook's brother late because that's where all Josh Allen was going, and Sauce shut him down. Probably something you probably didn't notice on the TV broadcast, but being at the game, I noticed that one. It's just they were great tonight, the defense. Again, as they were all last year with no quarterback, and here we are again. Here we are again. Unbelievable. Neil's giving me a look. Have we arrived? Are we back? We're almost there. A couple more before we get to intermission here. Let's go to Weed. He always brings. I finally met Weed the people in person tonight. What an experience that was.
Jake?
What's up, Weed? Neil says hello, by the way. He's right here.
What's up, Neil?
There he is.
Yeah, that cigar was amazing. I love that cigar.
He says the cigar was amazing.
It was fucking great. That's one of my favorite cigars I've ever had. Bro, at least we won.
Hey,
at
least
least
great
we
win.
won.
Does not take away from the win, man. The Jets played their absolute ass off on the national stage.
I don't care, dude. What a fucking game. See, even Luke agrees. He's going to go lay down, but, dude, what a fucking game. We were going to leave as soon as Rodgers got hurt. My buddy and me wanted to leave, and then we fucking stayed. I was like, no, we got to stay. Get your inner Jets forever out, Jake, because Zach's taking us all the way to the Super Bowl.
Weed, I know you don't believe that, but I hope you're right. I'm going to root for Zach, man. I always do. Once upon a time, I thought Zach Wilson was going to be a good quarterback, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I still feel that way. Be disingenuous. I'll root for him. But it is unreal that he's done. I mean, the Buck fan, they get Brady. He wins the Super Bowl year 1. We get Aaron Rodgers. We got 4 plays. Such bullshit, man. Such bullshit. Unbelievable. Hawk says, still waiting for Jake to root for Zach. Still waiting for you to make one good point ever. See ya.
Into the shadow realm you go.
It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed. The Jets did that this year.
And I think he needs to keep my coaches' names out of his mouth.
I mean, what do you want me to say, Hawk? Zach Wilson's great. He's going to be awesome. If I don't believe that, why would I say that? Do I think there's a path for him to maybe be competent? Yeah, I guess there is. But do I feel that way right now? No. I'm telling you my honest thoughts. It's not always going to be, yay, Jets. Woo, go Jets. We're going to be only positive around here because they're the Jets. Because, yes, because you have been rewarded as a Jet fan for always being positive because the Jets have always come through for you. Always. How could I question such a thing? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. One last call, then we pause for intermission here. King Lowski, what do you got for us tonight, my friend?
Jake, my brother. Can you hear me?
What's up, King?
Man, let me tell you something, man. Here we go again, back with this child at quarterback. Lord have mercy on our souls, man. Lord have mercy on our organization. But to be on a positive note, on the flip side, 172 yards rushing.
That's right.
People gonna have to deal with that.
They didn't rush it enough. There were times they were throwing too much, and I'm like, run the ball more.
Yes, exactly. 3 picks, 1 forced fumble. Y'all gonna have to deal with that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This division is still ours if we can get a quarterback and some requisite play from our running backs and just some average play at the quarterback position. I'm with you, Jake. I don't believe in that child. That's what I call him. I don't call him Zach Wilson. I call him a child after that just bullshit interview he did when we lost to the Patriots. But at the end of the day, man, we won the game like I said we was gonna do. They lucked up and got 16 points. They lucked up and got 16 points, Jake. Okay? Yeah. I said nobody would score more than 13 points on us this whole season, but they lucked up and got 16. But it's all good, baby. We got the win like I said we was going to get the win. Jets, Jets, baby. Let's go, Jake. Be safe out there, man.
Appreciate you, King. We're going to pause our show. Quick intermission here. Want you guys to hear why you should stay at Circa Resort Casino if you're headed out to Vegas for Jets Raiders. I can promise you, whatever the Jets record is, whoever the quarterback is by then, that weekend is still going to be incredible. After this spot plays, give me about 5 minutes to get to my car, get the hotspot rolling, and we got a lot of people on hold. I want to try and get to everyone who's been patient with me because we got a lot of people watching right now. So give me 5 minutes or so, and we will continue this on the other side. Keep it right here. Jake Asman with you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We talk Jets every day on this channel if you're new. And thank you guys for helping me reach over 33,000 subscribers. Jake Asman here. I got some great news to share with all of you. You took our exclusive promo code for a discounted stay at the legendary Circa Resort and Casino for Jets Raiders weekend on November 12th, and you turned it into the most successful promo code Circa has ever seen. But guess what? We're rolling out the red carpet with a lineup of extra exclusive events. Get ready for more than just an open bar party. Picture this, a reserved haven at the iconic Stadium Swim where we could soak up the sun and watch college football all together. And that's not all. We're kicking off the game day action with a reserved spot for my listeners at the world's largest indoor sportsbook to catch the 10 a.m. NFL games the Sunday of Jets Raiders. And then off to the stadium all together. You do not want to miss this incredible weekend. Use my promo code JAKE15. Book your stay today at circalasvegas.com. I can't wait to see all of you at Circa Resort and Casino. All right, we're back. Give me a comment if it's working, if you guys can see me, if you can hear me okay, and we'll keep rolling with the show. Appreciate the intermission. Thanks to the 1,000 of you who wrote in. Appreciate you, or who are watching live right now. So apparently we're good. So let's keep going here. Obviously, we'll go as long as we got to go. Shout out to Neil for letting me use this part of his house so we can keep this show going. 24 Jets, you've been on hold a while. Appreciate your call. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, Jake? Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hey, what's up? My first time calling. Just want to talk about, hey, great win. I know the bad news that we think, but hey, we're Jets fans. We've been through it all. 27 years old, been a Jets fan my whole life, and we're always supporting and all that. We got to take what we can get. And yeah, Zach Wilson, is he the next thing? We don't think so. But as of right now, we're going through Zach Wilson potentially being the starting quarterback for this team in the future. As of right now, maybe Jameis Winston, Tyler Heineke, someone comes up. But as of right now, Jets fans, we support this team no matter what. And Zach Wilson, we heard it from him last year. He told us he lost his confidence. Now, is that potentially from him just playing bad, or is it part us Jets fans booing him at every single game and all that? So don't hate me on this, but as of right now, as us Jets fans, just support him, believe in him, don't boo him, let him get his confidence. If he's bad, he's bad, and we move on from him. But support him throughout this season. This defense is legit. It's top 3, and this Jets team is great. I know the quarterback situation isn't great, but support him, love him, let him do what he does. If he sucks, he sucks. But let's see, Dalvin Cook and Brees, man, they're going to be
Yeah,
great.
I get it, man. It's just that's how you're supposed to look at it. That's how us fans will try and spin it. It still sucks. It still sucks. I mean, we're doing the we got to talk ourselves into Zach Wilson thing. The reality is there should be a better quarterback on this team as a backup right now. But since there isn't, maybe they could swing big and get someone who is, a fringe starter in this league. Ryan Fitzpatrick type quarterback, who I think that version in the NFL today is like Jacoby Brissett or maybe a Gardner Minshew. Demo with a super chat. Zach should study Trent Dilfer film. I just don't think the days of Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson winning a Super Bowl exist anymore, man. I don't think in today's NFL you could get by. You're going to have to score. Like, as good as the Jets defense is, and I am the first to tell you how good they are awesome. I've never wavered in my belief. Forcing 4 turnovers is not sustainable. It could happen. Think about it. They needed each of those turnovers to win tonight in overtime and a special teams touchdown. Total team effort. They stole a win tonight. It was unbelievable. But you're going to need quarterback play if you're going to be a playoff team. You have to get it. RJ, super chat. Twitter's savage. They're saying Allen's 3 picks were for DeMar Hamlin, all to a safety. That's a pretty funny line. I won't lie to you. Let's see. I am going to enjoy banning this MFer to the shadow realm for life. Alexander writes in, this just solidified why Tom Brady's the GOAT. God bless America. What a day to be a Pats fan. So happy. Enjoy last place, Alexander, because I still think you're destined to be there, even with the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers. See ya.
Into the shadow realm you go.
The New York Jets is going to be the New York Jets. He's 41 years old. Last year, I thought he was cooked and done. A broken thumb. This is the only finger matter when throwing the football. They got Sauce, they got Wilson, but that's it. They've just been the little brothers in this city who always thought that they were irrelevant. This is a New York Giants city.
Another dumb comment here. Empire says, why did they think Rodgers was going to last the whole year? Because he's missed only 1 game since 2017. I mean, Aaron Rodgers played through how many injuries last year? He got hurt on a freak play, guys. Are we going to pretend like Rodgers is injury prone? Like, come on, man. Silly. Back to your calls. George, you're up next on the show. What's up, George?
Hey Jake, how's it going? I got my Rodgers jersey. I got the Jet Stadium. When I found out Rodgers got hurt, it really sucked. But I'll be praying to Jesus tonight that he's okay and that he'll be able to, still start some of the season. Because I just loved the Jets to go Super Bowl this year. My prediction was the Jets to be in the Super Bowl with the Niners and beat the Niners. Oh my gosh. I remember watching Hard Knocks and seeing like Xavier Gibson and like being like worried he was going to get cut. And then they tricked him and then they picked him up. Dude, that guy is legit. That was such a smart decision by the Jets.
George, 100%, man. Thank you for the call. Gibson's awesome. It sucks that moment has to be overshadowed by the Rodgers story. Don't think for a second. My voice is shot right now because I celebrated that play with 88,000 of my closest friends jumping up and down at MetLife. Like, it was a great win for the Jets. They have a great roster. The problem is You can't win in this league if you don't have a quarterback. If you don't have a very good quarterback. They don't. That's what sucks. Can't win a Super Bowl. You can be a playoff team. Season's not over. This team could still be a playoff team. And you get in, hey, we'll convince ourselves maybe you can make a run. But you want to beat Mahomes, if you want to beat the litany of dudes in the conference in a big playoff spot, you're going to need to score points as good as your defense is. I have no faith they could do that on a consistent basis unless we see remarkable improvement from Zach, which I hope happens. I hope I'm dead wrong. I do. Please, I would love nothing more than Zach Wilson sticking it to me and everyone who doesn't think he's ever going to be a good quarterback. I am rooting for that. I could give a crap whether I'm right or wrong. I want what's best for the Jets. Gator writes in, we're devastated, but is there anyone more crushed than Aaron? That's a great point, man. I think Aaron Rodgers probably feels terrible. Probably feels like he let this fan base down. He didn't do anything wrong. I feel terrible for him. He did everything right, man. He embraced us, wanted to be here. Every OTA, every practice. He was great on Hard Knocks. He was great to Zach Wilson. I'm sure he'll still be great to Zach Wilson. And if you want a positive, maybe Rodgers being here can make Zach Wilson a tick better. Maybe Hackett being here over LaFleur and Downing being here over Calabrese, who I know is technically still here but does nothing. Maybe that makes Zach Wilson a tick better. And if he could just get a little better, maybe the weapons they have around him, Brees healthy, etc. If he could get another tick better from that, can he be competent? He's in his third year. Can he be competent? Is it possible? I'm going to try and talk myself into it when I'm watching him probably play quarterback next Sunday for my team in Dallas. But, God, still sucks. Sucks. Super chat here from Guitarist. Jake, I feel your pain. The O-line didn't only suck on that play. They had Zach running for his life near every play. It was terrible. No quarterback surviving that. Least of all, Matthew Statue. I mean, to be honest with you, some of it was Zach Wilson just holding onto the ball. I'm sitting there counting 1, 2. That ball's got to be out. You watch Hard Knocks this summer? I mean, Zach Wilson only got sacked twice. I know he was pressured, but, man. You know, it's not always just the O-line. Sometimes the sacks are on the quarterback. They got to be better up front and protect, no doubt. But, you know, at least they proved they could run block tonight, huh? Or Brees Hall's just an alien. Maybe he just makes his own holes. I think it might be that. A few more calls here. It's almost 2 in the morning. It is 2 in the morning here on the East Coast. Still got 1,100 watching. Appreciate all of you guys. Really means a lot. I know I'm pissed off tonight, as many of you are. All the emotions, but really do appreciate the support here on the channel and everyone on Patreon and channel members, all that. Ricky NY, you're up next on the show. What's up, Ricky? How about our guy Jermaine Johnson tonight with that huge sack?
Right on, man. Like I was so happy for him. Jermaine had a sack. Huff had a sack. I mean, the defense just played their ass off tonight, like I knew they would. Great showing by the defense. And, you know, just for today, I'm not going to let the Rodgers thing bum me out. You know, at the end of the day, it's a win. I know the AFC is good, but the Chiefs and the Bengals just both played disasters this week, and we got a win. So I'm just going to take today and appreciate the win, and then I'll just be bummed out all day tomorrow. But you know what? I didn't want to be talking some hope for the best crap. You know, do we think he can be competent? I didn't want to be talking about that right now. And
no,
you know,
we should be
it's
talking
like,
about the fact that the Jets, if Rodgers stayed healthy, probably win by 30 tonight, Ricky. That's how much better they were than the Bills.
Yeah, and I mean, not only did I go through this with Vinny, but when we got C.J. Mosley, one great game, and then he was gone. And when we got Lawson, we didn't even get him, and he was. I mean, it's why does this always happen? You know, and whether it's Brissett, you know what? I would like to sign Teddy B. I mean, we helped him restart his career, and he's a good guy, and he also knows the Miami playbook. I mean, I think that would be a nice story, but they got to bring in some kind of competition insurance, whatever you want to call it, that goes without saying. But you know what? Overall, you know, Garrett had a great catch. Brees looked great. Dalvin looked good out there. I mean, it was a complete team win, and I'm just going to take today and enjoy the win. You know, I knew it was bad when the girl at the sports bar came up and told me we close at 9:00 tonight, and after they got my money for the overpriced food, they actually booted us out before it was even halftime. You know, it was just everything went wrong today, but in the end, everything went right because we got the win. So
Ricky,
I'm
they
gonna
won, man.
enjoy it.
Yeah, good attitude, man. I respect that. They won. They won. That's the positive. It sucks. It's overshadowed by the big picture. Look at this guy right here. He's finally relaxing. Neil in Garden City giving me what a night. The sprinter to the game. Unbelievable. The ride back, a mixture of everything going on. A little bumpy on the ride back, a little roller coaster action. Oh, man. Oh, crazy, man. 2 a.m. We got 1,100 watching right now, Neil. Crazy. This fan base is the best. You've been to a lot of Jet games. Atmosphere tonight. Top 5 Jet atmosphere? Number 1. Wow. Yeah, the LED lights.
Yeah, they added that. That was never in the stadium before. It really added a nice touch.
Crazy.
You had all 3 guys. You had Fireman and Jetman. Who was the third? We had a third guy doing it.
Yeah, there's 3. I don't know who the third person is off the top of my head.
I've seen him before, but my God, it was such an electric situation. Halftime was bad.
Tough.
Halftime was a bad halftime. It definitely brought me back. It reopened the cup with Testaverde the day that happened.
And you were the one who said and pointed it out, the irony in Vinny being there. Eerie. Oh. It's just brutal. Couple more calls, then I'll get out of Neil's house because I'm not sleeping tonight. Let's be real. By the way,
we need to bet here. We need Jake. We need to talk to each other. We need to get through this.
we got.
Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
We need to get through this.
Today's it's already tomorrow now.
Exactly. It's we have to figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, this is where Joe Douglas is gonna make his money right now. I don't know how we're gonna pull it out.
I don't know either. But they got to do something. Zach Davis says, "I'll take your tickets to the Dallas game." Zach, I'm going, man. I'm not giving up on the season in week 2. Neil and I will be in Dallas. There, we'll be with the Jetaway crew.
This is not. Look, I said to myself, if the Jets are ever going to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be the most improbable thing to ever happen. It's not going to be the fairy tale we all make it to be. It just has to happen. Like it happened for the Jets in '69. It wasn't expected for us to win. We were not expected to be in the championship game 2 years in a row with Mark Sanchez behind center. We weren't expected to do that, and that's where it got us. That's how New York sports is. It's never a start to finish fantasy. It does not work for us. It's not going to work. My son said it at the stadium. I like being an underdog better. That's just the way we are as New Yorkers. We want to be the underdog, and we want to have something happen that's improbable and miraculous. And that is how we're going to win a Super Bowl. By something miraculous. And it's just not to be with this.
It is just surreal. It is. It's still a great win, though, man. Still a great win.
We saw a defense that I never saw as good a defense as we did.
They were phenomenal. Couple more calls here. Then we wrap up our show. You can tell the voice is pretty much gone. I do want to say this. Will Parkinson's coming on with us in 7 hours. He's joining me at 9 a.m. Eastern in his weekly spot. Let's go to Lima Bean up next on the show. What's up, Lima Bean?
I still don't have the words after being on hold thinking about what I'm gonna say. I can't be happy with this win. I just can't. I'm glad that we won, but like
better than losing, but I get it.
I know, but like I just want to enjoy football for once. You know, it's been forever, and not even that. I'm as much as I love our defense, I want to see good offensive football. You know, like I just actual like throwing the ball properly. Like I'll root for Zach. I hope he does good, but like obviously I don't want him to start. Like I don't know who we're gonna find it, but like I want to blame just about everyone, like irrationally enough. I want to blame Mike Greenberg for like putting up Rodgers shirt today on and like claiming about all these things. I want to blame, like, out of all people to have Vinny Testaverde, like you're asking for trouble. That's like bringing Joe Theismann to a Redskins game, you know? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I wanted to beat Belichick like 50-0. Like, it's gonna be. I don't know what to do. I feel, you know, I've seen this song and dance too many times. Like, and I'm not saying the season's over, but like, it's going to be the same defensive ball game, winning 17-13, barely scratching it out, having like it's sucky football. You know, I can't.
I mean, look what happened tonight, Lima. I mean, it was a game we've seen a lot last year. It was in a way similar to the game they beat the Bills at MetLife last year. It was 20-17 in that one. They had 2 turnovers on Allen in that one. This one tonight, they had obviously the 4. But the Jets ran the ball well in that game. They ran it great tonight. There were some similarities. It's just it's hard to think that is sustainable. They need to get more from the quarterback spot. They have to. It's the only way. I think they need to look to add someone. If they stick with Zach Wilson, I mean, they're telling you they think he could be average if they do nothing. So it's tough. Let's go to Mo. He's up next. We're wrapping up here. So if you're on hold, we'll get to you. But please, I don't want to waste anyone's time. Don't join if you're thinking about calling in because we've been live for 90 minutes. Neil's falling asleep. He's actually not. In fact, I'm sure if I wanted to go live till 5 a.m., he'd be on board. Let's go to Mo. What's up, Mo?
Yo, what's up, Jake? First time caller, man. It's a good win. It's a great win, but there's nothing. There really is nothing, I guess, that we could say. What's our next step? Like I feel like we win, and then now we got nothing else. Nothing else to really look forward to.
This team is still fun to watch with the talent they have. If you want a positive, I mean they won a game tonight against one of the best teams in the league, and they were able to do it with Zach Wilson playing with Aaron Rodgers playing 4 snaps.
Right, and look, I love Gator, man. I think he said I love Gator because of you and the intro, man. I've been a fan of you for a long time at Gator, and you guys got me hyped for this season like you probably have no idea, but. And he said, nobody has it worse than Aaron. And you made a point. Aaron, he did everything perfectly. But I honestly think that us as fans have been here for a long time. I think we got it worse because I can't even fathom that this happened. The way we got this win is typically how I usually chant for this team. Like I chant for this team like as an underdog. Like I mean maybe it's just me, but I bark at this team. I bark at my screen. I'm like, what the F are you guys doing? This and that and the third, and then our team comes out like lately. Since Olbrich really turned it around last season. Before that,
Mo, the Jets have been a dumpster fire for 12 years. They are finally going into this year as a true Super Bowl contender. It was a totally different mentality as us fans. And now we're back to what they were last year, where really good defense, some playmakers on offense, and a major, major question mark at the quarterback spot. But they entered this year as a Super Bowl contender, and right now they're not. They're not. That's what sucks. That's what's painful for the longtime Jet fan like my guy Neil right here, who was at the AFL Championship game when he was 8 years old in 1968. He waited a long time to see a Super Bowl. Come close. Championship game in 82, 98 with Vinny, 09 and 10 with Rex and Sanchez. But this playoff drought being what it is, there's still something they're playing for. Yeah, the Super Bowl, I can't picture it. I can't. But making the playoffs is still on the table. They just beat the Bills tonight. They have a team that is really good. And there's still a lot to watch. And maybe Zach could surprise us, or maybe they add someone. Maybe the Rams fall out of it and it's Stafford, or they bring in a Brissett or Minshew. I don't know. But It is a painful night to be a Jet fan, despite how great that win is. There's no other way to say it. Graveyard Jet, you're up next on the show. What's up, Graveyard?
Hey man, what's up? Big fan of the show. I've been a fan since you did that episode where you tore apart that idiot Barnwell. That was wonderful. But I was when I got here to work, Gibson had just run in for that touchdown and I was squealing with joy, with my Giants coworkers. So, but once the adrenaline kind of set down, it was like, shit, what are we gonna do?
Well, then the reality hit that, hey, you hear from Sal after the game that, it's likely season ending, and
I'm just holding on to that sliver of hope that we dodged the bullet and Aaron will be back. But, push comes to shove. I was talking with my dad about it. He said, I wouldn't mind getting Jacoby Brissett up in here and, having a decent game manager. Or Zach Wilson could have his own revenge tour. I don't know. This is where we're kind of at right now. And never in a million years would I have expected Aaron Rodgers to go down in just 4 snaps.
You can't make it up, man. Appreciate you. I mean, Favre got hurt and it derailed the year. But they were 8-3. At least we had that. I'd stop for 8-3 and have that start to the year. It just sucks. Sucks. The Jets are going to have to find a way to get more from Zach or add someone. Because as good as his defense is, you need to score points in the league. They were good last year, and they still ended up losing 6 games in a row to end their year after they were 7-4. Final call of the night. Jason from Jerusalem. We're going international to wrap up. What's up, Jason?
Hey, good morning, Jake. How you doing?
You stay up overnight to watch the Jets?
No, I woke up in the third quarter to a bunch of text messages saying we can't have nice things.
Well, that's kind of true.
Just a couple things. One, we can't trade our first for Stafford or for anybody else because it's still locked into the condition of Rodgers.
Even if he's done for the year, they place him on season-ending IR?
That I'm not sure about. I remember they had a problem with trading a first because of Sanchez, that they had to get rid of the condition. But basically, the first and the second are locked in by rules because they're conditional to each other. So unless there's somehow an arrangement, I don't know how it works with season-ending IR. But I believe until it's known that he hasn't done it, you can't trade that pick because Green Bay has a connection to it.
Yeah, I would have to look into that. I don't know. I think if you put him on season-ending IR, though, and you designate his season's over, he then can't hit the 65% snap threshold, and you should be able to trade that pick.
I agree with you. We'll have to see. Also, Brady's impossible because he's an owner of the Raiders now. You can't have an owner of one team playing on another team.
He could sell his shares.
I mean, that's not going to be an overnight thing. I mean, those things take time.
I don't know. They're not going to sign Tom Brady, Jason. I'm throwing out names because I'm not accepting. Zach Wilson's our quarterback. Let's not do anything else.
You can't rely on him. He's never lasted a season yet, and Tim Boyle's going to be a disaster.
Well, he's also not good. Like I'm talking about Zach.
Agreed.
He's just. I don't have a lot of faith in him.
I mean, but you expect Atlanta to give up on Heineke when they have a legit shot of winning the division, and nobody knows about Ritter.
I mean, Ritter's their quarterback. I think they drafted him in the 3rd round. They want to go with him.
Yeah, but they also expect to get the division.
I would call the Saints and ask about Jameis. He wants to play. They have Derek Carr, who's been incredibly durable. I think they have another guy. Well, actually, Jake Haener got suspended, right? Who they drafted. Jameis Winston's a name I'd at least consider. He at least has shown you can win games with him when you have proper coaching around him.
Yeah, but he also shows you there's an interception waiting to happen. If you want a game manager, he's the least.
Would you rather him or Zach Wilson?
At this point, I'd actually say Zach because I think he can run the offense better.
I don't know about that one. I appreciate it, Jason. Jameis Winston, when Sean Payton was his coach a couple of years ago, last time we saw him play was pretty good before he got hurt. His season ended with the ACL. I just want a body that's not Tim Boyle that could be there and learn. Look, you want to play Zach for a couple of weeks while that quarterback comes in, has to learn an offense? Fine. But you cannot go into the rest of this year saying we're fine with Boyle and Zach. Like, come on. I mean, it's just, Sucks. I hate even having to have these quarterback debates, man. This is the nightmare scenario to have to talk about this on September 12th. It's just we got 4 snaps from Aaron Rodgers before his Achilles snapped. It's just you can't make it up, man. No, you do got to laugh, otherwise you cry, man. It's brutal. I mean, there's no fan base more qualified to handle this though than us Jet fans. Builds character, folks. There was a kid we were leaving our section. Kid probably had to been 8 or 9 years old. He's wearing a Sauce Gardner jersey. He's cheering after the big win. And I said to him, I go, "You'll never forget this night for the rest of your life." And tonight was one of those nights, Jeff fans, that we will reference for as long as we're fans of this team. We still talk about Vinny in 99. Tonight became Rodgers in 23. And that is eerie, painful, all the above. What else can you say? Tomorrow is a new day, and in fact, we'll be live with Will Parkinson from Turn on the Jets in less than 7 hours at 9 a.m. I got to give a big thank you to this guy. Took me to the game tonight. We had an unbelievable time at our section. The tailgate was great. Neil, the big star at L5 during the jersey burn. What a night, despite everything that went down. Jets did win, of course. Let's not lose sight of that. But, Neil, I can't thank you enough. Wanted to make sure we thanked you on the show. You're the man. Oh, pregame on the field, not too shabby. Oh, all right. That's going to do it. If you guys can hit the like button on the way out, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Will Parkinson joins us in 7 hours. Jeff fans, hang in there. We're in this together as usual. And I'm going to quote my former colleague and someone I consider a friend, the great Joe Beningo. Oh, the pain. Good night, everyone. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets.